Welcome back to ThreadWatch. Have you been keeping up? Every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized. Nintendo's experimental AI adapts and subtly creates a slightly altered version of the game tailored specifically for you, appealing to you subconsciously in ways you don't even notice, as well as attempting to mess with you and study how you react to it. Have you ever played someone else's copy of Mario 64? Have you ever felt like something was just a little bit off? That's why. That's how. This is much more than just simple experimentation with procedural generation, however. There are many layers to this, and some of them are more sinister and malicious than others. Super Mario 64 is, at its core, an insidious and evil work of human creation. Now, the Wario Apparition, as seen here. The Wario Apparition was created from the subconscious wishes to see him in Mario 64 that the shared desire caused him to appear as a horrifying half-start in some copies of the game. That image is what it's supposed to look like, but those who encountered it in-game can't even describe what it looked like, as many suffer from memory loss and stroke-like symptoms. If you suspect you're seeing it in-game, it's suggested you shut the console off immediately, because once you give it power by witnessing it, it gains power to begin manifesting itself in your reality. What is the 3 Miyamoto theory? More importantly, what is CM code incident? Looking back, SM64 was a very strange game. It's rare to get that kind of surreal atmosphere nowadays. I can understand why you Zoomers Susan yourselves over it. The boring answer to this is that Nintendo probably released updated carts throughout the game's retail span. Before consoles with online connectivity, this is how game patches happened. There probably aren't noticeable differences, but if there are, this would be why. It's the most popular speedrun game on the internet. Hundreds of thousands of people watch this game on a daily basis. Didn't even post the iceberg. At least act like you're trying. Every moment, every video game, movie, show, song, book, social event, you name it, are all personalized. We subconsciously imprint our own meaning on whatever it is we participate in. We cognitively personalize the experience as an ego. Even for trivial Susan like our own copy, save file of Super Mario 64. You can repeat this phenomenon with other games. Play on a friend's save file of any game. It will feel foreign and alien, like you are intruding on something. You can repeat this phenomenon with other games. Play on a friend's save file of any game. It will feel foreign and alien, like you are intruding on something. I felt that hard whenever I picked my brother's save files in Ratchet and Clank games. I was incredibly autistic about what I put my quick select wheel, and seeing other configurations felt dirty, like I was using his toothbrush or something. I think the biggest reason is that we all played it, at least most of us, and for many of us that did, it was our first video game at a very young age. I think I might have been 4 or 5 when I first got my hands on it. It was so enchanting to me. I wrote stories about Mario and his friends in school, and dreamt about them at night. I don't buy into any of the theories, but I think they're cool. And there may have been some awareness of the incoming legacy this game would have while they were making it. They knew it would be treasured for a long time and put extra care, ambience, work into the game. Like a kindly parent toiling lovingly to put together the perfect room for their infant child. I agree, but I meant in the way the game itself is built, how it feels empty. I think a few people discussed this a few threads back. The technical limitations of the early 3D era made it so games, especially ones with ample settings such as SM64, often had this mysterious and uncanny atmosphere, an ambiguous feel. Most of us probably didn't notice this, consciously, when we played those games as kids, but revisiting them while older and on a diet of increasingly realistic media, it's interesting to see how they often had a quite powerful unintentional atmosphere. It probably has to do with perception through means of suggestion versus pure representation. This is the only SM64 mystery I'm actually interested in. Explain. It's referred to as the Wario Apparition. The running explanation is that it was the eye in Mario N64 attempting to generate Wario in the game. In reality, it's from a promotional show that Nintendo would do in the early 90s, when Wario was starting to become popular. That being said, I don't know about the second image. The op image actually comes from the N64 patents on 3D tech, if you wanted to know. It's an early Peach's castle from around 1994. 1995 patent build. A total of 6 images from Super Mario 64 are seen in the patent for the Ultra 64 filed on November 22, 1995, showcasing the castle grounds. The level map is mostly identical to the final, with changes mostly focused on the castle's appearance. A black compass design is present above the doorway instead of Princess Peach's image. The upper right quarter of the compass seems to be a lighter color. The brick textures are simpler, and the windows are not vaguely mushroom-shaped like in the final game. A large, flat cloud separates the lower half of the castle from the tower. The sprites for the trees are missing, but their shadows are in place. The bridge is fairly simple, it is made of the same bricks as the castle, and curves. It is connected to the main landscape by stone posts instead of guardrails. There is a small alcove inside the wall directly under the bridge, on the left side. The rusty metal door in the moat is missing. There is land behind the castle, which is not present in the final game. The outdoor area containing the entrance to Big Boo's haunt is likely a remnant of this idea. Shoshinkai 95 demo. Information about Super Mario 64 first leaked in November 1995, and a playable build was presented days later as part of the world premiere for the Ultra 64 at Nintendo Space World. At this point, the basic controls had been implemented and the game was reportedly 50% finished, featuring 32 courses, although about 2% of mapping was complete. Being the first unveiling of Super Mario 64, these were the first assets available to the general public. Graphics-wise, this version of the game has little in common with the retail release, but several levels and key gameplay features are set in stone. Players could control Mario freely in each stage and explore the castle, as well as use a stage select that used early names for levels. For example, one of the boss levels, Bowser in the Dark World, was originally named Koopa 1. According to the developers, many players at Shoshinkai described Mario's 3D controls as wobbly or slippery, or less responsive to the button inputs. It is unknown what exactly was changed, but it could be due to the major change in controls by the final release. The AI needs time to learn the player and manifest changes to the game. Each new file resets this AI, so you won't see Susan on speedruns. Also, the still unexplained TTC upwarp is a little glimpse of the underlying, arguably evil, tampering at work. Thanks for watching, see you on the boards.